You know, if you're going to have a real breakfast, eggs, peppers, New Orleans sausage, Cajun style spice, and hot sauce. Man, that looks good. Woo! That is the finished product. New Orleans sausage, peppers, cheese, Cajun spice, and Texas Pete hot sauce. Ooh. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bonjour, guten tag, hola, ciao, privet to my foreign friends. Excuse me. And today I'm really excited. And so I'm going to bring you this knife here today in copper. I love copper, but we need to talk about that in a minute. And this is a Kershaw Culpepper. So this is not a new knife design. It's been around, I think, since 2000. But man, this is a nice knife. And the other thing about this knife, guys, this is a slip joint. Look at that. Look at that. So if you love slip joints, this is a fantastic, fantastic slip joint knife. Look at that mirror polish on that thing. Straight out of the box. It's D2 steel. You see it right there. If you're not familiar with that, D2 is a tool steel. It's kind of an improvement over A2. It's supposed to have a little more corrosion resistance, but it's a carbon steel. It's not a stainless steel. And it's a good upgrade for a little knife. A lot tougher steel than 1095. Of course, some guys might argue that point, but that's what it was designed to be, a little tougher than 1095. So this little knife is 4 1/8 inches long from end to end, and the blade on this knife is 3 1/4 inches long from the shortest point right here to the tip, and then the cutting edge is 3 inches. So let's put her down here. Just camera. Okay. So we're going to put it down here for a minute. And this is a Model 18 medium Stockman from Case. And this is a Case Trapper Model 54 with yellow synthetic scales. That's my EDC knife, one of them. So just to give you an idea, this is very comparable to some of the most popular models of slip joints on the market. And then we'll show you a modern folder. That's how it sizes up in comparison with the Recon 1. This is a Benchmade Mini Freak, and you can see the Mini Freak is actually a little smaller than the Culpepper. And let's see what I got out. I'll throw in another modern folder. This is a Civivi Imperium, and it's a little smaller than the Imperium. You can see that right there. A little smaller, but really comparable. This is a nice EDC knife, by the way, and it compares favorably. But what I really want to show you is this is a Case copperlock, okay? And I'm going to give you a close-up of that. Okay, so there's the copperlock, and look at how that compares to the Case copperlock. It's amazing. So if you put them side by side, it's a little smaller than the copperlock, but look at that, the blade profile of both of these knives. The Culpepper is actually a little longer blade, just by a tad, but it's a little shorter handle. But this knife right here is a fantastic EDC knife. It just 4 fingers, locks your fingers in. Just, I love this thing for an EDC knife. I think it's one of the best ones out there. And this thing, I think, can give it a run for its money. Now, you may not like copper, but these things come in with micarta handles, upgraded steel, upgraded handles. And the ones that have regular handles, the model that has a regular handle is pinned like a regular, like the case. It's a regular pinned slip joint. This has screws, but if you'll notice, the pivot pin is hidden in here. So this, I would not consider this a modern folder. I'm going to do a video on this soon, okay, because it can get really confusing. Here you have new blade steel, modern blade steel. They've used copper for a long time in knives, but you won't find many vintage knives that are all copper or all brass. They were few and far between. And they're actually kind of collectible because you just don't see them. They didn't produce them as much. They were heavy and people didn't like them. And this is heavy and you may not like this. So when you say this is heavy, it feels heavy, right? It's these aren't full copper, it's a brass alloy. But this knife is 4 ounces right here, and this knife is 4.6 ounces, so it's a ½ ounce more. But I mean, in that 4-inch range for the size of this knife, it's very competitive with a lot of knives that you would have. This knife I carry all the time. I consider it light. It feels light. Maybe that has to do with the balance of it. It's a big, huge knife, though, and it weighs 5.4 ounces and doesn't bother me at all. And I carry it in my pocket, So, I don't know. That's a personal choice. You might think that's just too heavy. You might like, little 1 ounce, 2 ounce knives. But, you've got the Model 18 medium Stockman, if you want to do that. But I was blown away by the quality on this knife. Just blown away. And I paid retail $31 for this knife. And it's made in China by Kai. You can see that right there. Kai's parent company. They bought Kershaw a long time ago. I think around 1998 they bought Kershaw. But just an unbelievable knife, man. I really, really like this knife, and I'm probably going to carry it, because I hate to mess up that copper, but I really like the knife. I'm gonna put a lanyard on it, and I'm gonna start carrying this thing because I think it's a phenomenal little knife. The micarta handled ones, $25. Just absolutely unbelievable prices for these knives. Now, that's not a super steal, right? But, in a little pocket knife like this, you don't need S35VN or MagnaCut or 3V. You just really don't need it. It's like saying I have giraffe bone. There's no difference between giraffe bone and regular bone. It's just, you can tell your buddy, I got a knife that has giraffe bone in it. So I think this is a really good new slip joint knife that has some really good upgrades in it. I bought the copper one, but you could buy the micarta one if copper's not your thing. I just love it, though. I love copper. And this knife, look, there's jimping on here. Look how the ends... There's no half stop on this knife. Look how the ends are cleaned up there. Really nicely cleaned up. They didn't polish them, but it doesn't look rough or gritty at all. The top square is the same way. Actually, the top square is polished. just a phenomenal job on this knife. Look at the, it's mirror polished right there. Let's see if I can catch light. See that? Mirror polished. And inside it's not mirror polished, but it's pretty shiny. It doesn't have any of the scratches that you commonly see in bokers or cases on the inside there. It's really nicely cleaned up. See that? Really nice knife. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you to the channel, and I appreciate so much all the support I'm getting, not only from my subscribers, but from across the knife community. A lot of knife channels are picking me up and giving me shout outs, and I really appreciate that. It all helps. And remember, you know the truth will set you free. And thanks again.